and a very warm welcome to all of you. Our coverage of the T20 World Cup in Australia continues, and in today's game, it is host Australia taking on Sri Lanka in Group 1 of the Super 12 stage, and how things have turned for the hosts. At one point going into the tournament, we said they were the favourites and looking good to defend the title, but one bad drubbing at the hands of New Zealand changed everything for Australia, and now things keep getting worse for them with their lead spinner Adam Zampa out of the side due to COVID, and now they find themselves in a situation where they need to win this match against Sri Lanka, because the last game that they lost, they just didn't lose the game, they lost it by 89 runs, which made sure that their net run rate has gone into negative. It's minus 4.45, and this is a difficult group. Ashok Malhotra is here with me to look at this preview, Australia versus Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, after losing to Namibia in their opening game, have won all their matches since then and are looking good. The Asian champions are their openers have been doing the job for them, but it's the middle order that needs to score runs, and of course their spinners always stand out in tournaments such as this. The news from Perth, the match where the stadium where it's being played, is that Australia have won the toss and they've opted to field first. So that's one good news for them, because Australia would have liked to chase here. It is a bouncy pitch. It is, Perth is known for that. Ashok Malhotra is here with me to preview this game, sir. Australia in a situation now where the pressure is going to be on them, because not only would they want to win, but they'd want to win big.
Yeah, definitely so. But not to forget that Perth is their back. That is where intimidate most of the visiting sides. And Sri Lanka specializes on spin. The medium pacers are probably, they are reasonably good, but they're not really brilliant. And their batters tend to struggle, with Nishanka not opening the innings, which is a very, very big blow to them. So I know winning the toss, putting the side in, taking advantage of the Perth, which is fast, bouncy, and moving, is not going to be easy. And if they can pick up early wickets, first 2-3 wickets in the power play, then I think they'll be up and running again. But Zampa not playing is a very, very big blow to you. But with Ashton Agar coming in, they have a bowler and a batter and an all-rounder. So it strengthens their batting too. But as of now, winning the toss, putting Lanka in, I would say Australia. Until unless they do a harakiri, shoot themselves in the foot, then there's a different story. Yeah. But I think they should be winning this game comfortably.
Okay, let's take a look at Australia's playing 11, sir. There's only one change from the last game, where Adam Zampa, which is a forced change really for them, he's out due to COVID. He has mild symptoms, thankfully, but I guess they did not want to take a chance. And you look at that side, sir. On paper, this looks like such a good side, but this is the side that lost to New Zealand in a way that wasn't expected of them. Not only did their batters not come good, their bowlers, Pat Cummins, I know you've been saying it for a while, he leaks runs, but along with him, Mitchell Starc as well, they've been unable to take wickets in the power plays since last year. This isn't as good a side now as we thought it would be, especially after how they performed in the game against New Zealand.
See, Neha, the problem with them is they have got 3 top bowlers who probably excel in Australian conditions, but they're not doing that, especially Pat Cummins. He leaks too many runs. I've been saying it all over again. And then they got the 4th bowler, Ashton Agar, if he bowls his quota of 4 overs. Yeah. Then they're struggling to have the 4th, 5th, and 6th bowler. Yeah. They've got Stoinis, they got Mitchell Marsh, and they got Glenn Maxwell, who all of them are not capable international bowlers. They are the ones who can bowl a bit, bat a bit, kind of a guy who can bowl a couple of overs. If he has a good day, then might bowl 4 overs, but you normally put them on for 2 overs. So the 5th bowler is going to be a major, major issue if Ashton Agar comes to the party and bowl his quota of overs. So you're struggling with the 4th bowler, who hasn't played much of T20 cricket because Zampa was playing, and then you're talking about the 5th bowler. So the bowling is a bit suspect. And then when you go to their batting, Neha, you got Aaron Finch, who is struggling. If you go as record in the last 6-7 innings, except for a 50, he has not got into double figures. Then you got somebody like Maxwell, You don't know which side of the bed he's getting out, whether he'll get runs or he's a hit and miss guy. And so is Stoinis. So I am amazed when you're three guys whom you are not sure of, then you're dependent on David Warner. He has to bat well. Mitchell Marsh has to bat well. If you want to, or Matthew Wade has to bat well, or Tim David. You're depending on these four guys. Those three guys. So there are big holes in your team. You got three batters who are struggling with the form. You have four bowlers. Out of them, one is struggling with the form, Pat Cummins. And then your fifth bowler, you don't know who's going to bowl. So there are a lot of loopholes at this team. And I don't know, Australians are normally very, hard taskmasters. But they will let this thing drift. I've never seen anybody get so many chances like the skipper.
On top of that, sir, Cameron Green sitting out. They could try him, but they don't want to take that chance as well. They want to go with experience than somebody who's in form, somebody who's doing well. But the dependency on David Warner, that was clear even in the last game. I mean, the moment David Warner got out, you knew that there was nobody there who could really play that anchor role or just sort of have a partnership. And Mitchell Marsh as well, just coming back from an injury, isn't looking that good. Marcus Stoinis again. I think the problem is also that too many of their players are coming back from injuries, sir, including their bowlers and their batters.
Yeah, definitely. And Matthew Wade, he can be a useful player. But will you depend on that? Tim David, he's a good striker of the ball. He's done well in T20 leagues all around the world. But this is World Cup. You play T20 leagues around the world, you get one or two international players. Now you're getting five of them in one go. So can you do that? And the big grounds. Not to forget the big grounds. So that is a way. See, you got Finch, who's struggling in form. You got Maxwell, who, when he delivers, God knows. Stoinis, who is a very, very overrated cricketer, be it bowling, be it batting. And then you got Tim David, who we don't know what he has. He's yet to prove himself. So that it looks a very, very suspect. And I believe you me, Perth, because Perth, I think they have an edge. But if it had been Melbourne or Sydney, I wouldn't have that maybe Sri Lanka might have been able to upset.
Now, the pitch report was interesting where they said there is bounce and pace on the wicket, but it also has a lot of runs. Make what will of you because I don't know what that means. If there's pace and bounce, will it still have, I mean, Perth is normally a difficult pitch to bat on, but in recent times we've also seen that change where it's a much better wicket. So we don't know what, and this is a new stadium, this is Optus Stadium. So, not too many games have been played here. There was one where they ended up scoring, which is England, Australia, where they ended up scoring 200 plus runs, 208. And, it was almost chased down. And the other one was Afghanistan's match where Afghanistan were all out against England for some, I think, 112. Anyway, but let's move on then to Sri Lanka, sir. Sri Lanka, again, Asian champions, started off, in a way that people said, my goodness, how can they lose to Namibia? But since then have been coming together. It's a team that's coming together. It's been performing like a team. But their middle order still a big concern. They haven't got runs that they would have liked.
See, the good thing which I see in this team is Patrick Nishanka is back.
Yes.
He's a very, very vital forward. Him and Kusal Mendes, if they get off to a good start, because they have to be playing against the bouncy track, because Asian batters tend to struggle on the bounce and movement and pace. We tend, because we play on the low bounce wickets. But the good thing is Nishanka, Kusal Mendes, Dhananjaya, Bhanuka is finding big grounds difficult for himself because he hits in the air. He normally clears the field, but that is on Asian ground. The Australian grounds is not able to clear. And Charith Asalanka is the same. He's a good player, good left-hander. But then, if you Dasun Chanaka is a iffy batter, and so is Chamika, Karunaratne. So the batting is, if they lose early wickets, power play, if they lose 2-3 wickets, then the writing is on the wall. Their bats will be against the wall, and I don't see them recovering from there because Hasarangas and Chamika Karunaratnes are not the ones who can bail them out, or the Dasun Chanaka. He might play a knock here or there, but he's not a consistent, good international batter.
But what about the spinners, sir? Can they make a difference here on this pitch? I know the pace and bounce, but these are some of the best spinners you'll find.
See, that is what it is, having the home advantage. They know they rely on their spinners. They made the track which suits a fast bowler. I think they might, although they are wrist spinners, both of them. They are mystery spinners. So they might come in handy, but the ball will not turn much. So it suits them. They can play through the line, the Australian, which they love to do, on the up kind of a thing. So that might be suiting them. But these 8 overs are going to be very, very crucial. If Sri Lanka has to win, and if a ball doesn't turn, then I don't see them upsetting Team Australia.
So this is the other thing that I wanted to ask you about the pitch. I've always found the mystery around the pitch, which I'm unable to understand, because it keeps changing depending on how well a particular team is batting. You'll say, oh, the pitch is fastened up, oh, the pitch is slowed down. And it's not like, and I'm talking about even in the shortest format of the game. In this case, when they're saying pacey and bouncy, do you still see runs here?
See, Australia at such a pace, you can play through the line. You get value for your shots. It is not like Asian, because ball will stop, turn. It is a true pitches. Yes, it has pace, it has bounce, and spare of the wicket. If you want to play, you can be more than effective. And a good thing is, normally when we see pace and bounce, most of the Asian batters, we go back and across. Whereas they say it's better to play on the front foot, on the up kind of a thing. The more back you go, the more pacey it gets, the more bouncier it gets. So it's better to play on the bounce, on the up kind of a thing. So I don't know how many of them will be brave enough to do that, because you are good when you play square of the wicket in Australia. But most of our Asian batters are front foot drivers of the ball. Yeah. So that is where the problem is going to come in. And with Australia winning the toss, I think they're looking down the barrel of the gun, if I would talk about Sri Lanka.
Okay, sir, I think we'll wrap this up. But thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you.
That's it then. Australia won the toss and they've opted to field first. Adam Zampa is out of the playing 11 due to COVID. And instead of him, Ashton Agar is in the playing 11 for Australia. Pathum Nissanka also comes back. He had a niggle and missed the last game, but he is back in the side. That's it from us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.